Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang Dhammang Sanghang Namassami. Okay, so this evening is our lunar observance gathering. It's the new moon, and it's 2 weeks before the entering of the rains retreat. So there's and there's going to be the week before the entering a rains retreat, there'll be a quiet week. So traditionally the rains retreat would be a time when one sort of basically pulls one's socks up and gets back to practice, and particularly focusing on just the traditional elements of meditation and vinaya, so that what comes to mind this evening as a theme to explore is just meditation practice, and having the development of meditation as a focal point. Last night it was in the reading that I did. There was a part of the from the sutta, a quote from the sutta, the Majjhima 44, the questions and answers, and the question being asked, what is samadhi? What is meditation? And in particular, what is samadhi? And the answer that was given by the bhikkhuni Dhammadina was that samadhi is the singleness of mind or unification of mind, and it's basis, or its themes are the four establishings of mindfulness, four satipatthana, and the requisites, or the equipment of samadhi is the four right efforts, and then any development, cultivation, pursuit of these factors is its development. So that the developing of samadhi, cultivation of samadhi, revolves around and is integral or based in this sense of the unification of mind. It's kind of singleness. It's not scattered. And I think it's very important to be reflecting on what are we doing? Why are we doing it? What are we looking for? Because it's important to be using a reflective mind to turn our attention to the process of cultivation of samadhi, of the meditation itself. So often we tend to just try to push our way through, or we just want to shut the mind off. I can remember myself. I just want to shut the mind up. Jeez, would you give me a break? You know, and it's not a great attitude. You really want to be paying attention to what is it that constitutes that development, and what is it that helps the mind to settle, because that sense of singleness of mind, unification of mind, the mind is settled, it's composed, it's working together, and that's and it's not as if it's, and because sometimes we think of singleness of mind as somehow it's got to be absolutely fixed and unmoving and having nothing else happening except for peace and clarity, or whatever we kind of idealize or conceive of. But it's settled, it's unified. It's not, and the image that Ajahn Chah uses is that it's like a bowl of fruit. I mean, you can look at the bowl of fruit and see that there's there's apples and oranges, and there's peaches and pears, and it's there, but it's in a bowl, and it's not scattered. It's not sort of rolling all over the table, all over the floor or something. It's in one bowl that's together. So so similarly with the mind, you've got the mind is unified to that extent that it's not scattered. It's settled. It's working together. It's functioning together. One can recognize different. Depends. I mean, different thoughts, and there'll be different degrees of settled, and different degrees of composed. But it's a matter of recognizing that we don't have to be too heavy-handed or too forceful to make the mind not move at all, and that to me that brings a lot of ease. Or like Luang Por Pasanno uses the image of the when that singleness of mind, or one ekakata, that one pointed, and drawing attention to the fact that there's different kinds of points. There's a point that excludes, and there's a point that includes. So that the tendency, I say, the point that excludes is there sort of pushing away thoughts, feelings, pushing away any intrusion whatsoever, any movement whatsoever. Just there's that point that's sort of excluding, and there's the basis is sort of certain sort of aversion or fear, really, but there's a sense of the point that includes is a bit more expansive, a lot more expansive, and is able to, it's the holding the mind in awareness and alertness, and there's a place for everything because it is seen, it is known. And that's the function of mindfulness, and so that when the Buddha says the Buddha approved of that, the answers. It was the Bhikkhuni Dhammadina answered it, but the themes are the basis of of samadhi, of the meditation, is these four establishings of mindfulness. Mindfulness is a really important quality, and like when Ajahn Chah talks about samadhi, the way he describes it, it's a continuity of mindfulness, so that there's a thread of mindfulness running through this, that mindfulness, that awareness is working all the time, but it does have a say its theme or its basis, and I think it's helpful to recollect say how the Buddha himself describes mindfulness, and it's always, because sometimes in popular notion of Buddhist practice, and you say mindfulness, and then it sometimes does get equated with this sense of just a fixed attention, and that I think is misleading. I don't think it is misleading. And especially when we go back and look at how the Buddha described, because the Buddha always point to four factors that constitute mindfulness. And in the Pali, it's atapi sampajano satima vinaya loke abhijato manasa. There, and atapi is Ajahn Jeff translates it as ardent, which is, any translation is always an approximation, but and it's interesting again because last night I was talking about the Thai translation of samadhi, and so rather than using concentration, or there's just it's a phrase, it's a description, so the firm establishing of the mind. So similarly with atapi, it is, because ardency is like there's effort implied, and when it's translated, it's the effort that effort that is for the burning up of defilements, and so that's the word ardency actually has an image of heat or fire, and so within the English. So it's but the sense that there is effort being made, and effort being made for the resolution of defilement, resolution of the hindrances. It's particularly because there is a need to identify those things which are obstructions to the mind being settled, and to resolve them, to be able to let them go, to actually come to a place of relinquishment around them. So those five hindrances are a good theme to be paying attention to, and as a focal point for effort. And then in in those four, again, sort of the equipment or the requisites of samadhi, the four right efforts, four right strivings. It's around the letting go of the unwholesome qualities of mind, and abandoning the unwholesome, or the preventing the unwholesome qualities of mind from arising if they haven't arisen yet. And similarly with wholesome qualities of mind, skillful qualities of mind, and bringing them into being and protecting them, looking after them. So that's an appropriate focus for applying effort. So that sense of atapi, ardent. It's not like a stepping back and doing nothing, but it's not a kind of unfocused striving or a blind forcing of the mind, or trying to push the mind into stillness or into peace, because I remember Ajahn one time just giving the image. Yeah, our minds are like cats, and just try to push a cat into doing. Even if you put out a nice plate of food for it, and you push it, it's just no way. It just immediately backs up. And our minds are like that. Or mine is anyway. It's gonna try to push it too much, and it's just it needs to be led, and it needs to be encouraged. So that effort that we make is the effort that is helping to lead it, helping to encourage it, and it's important to get the tone right in practice. It's like again, say Ajahn Chah, the language of Dhamma is the language of feeling. And so this is not just because it's rational or say intellectually clear that yes, we put forth some effort, and we get a result, we get peace and wisdom and liberation and all of that. You have to feel your way through it. It's a constant sort of gauging and attuning oneself to what is the result of this effort? What is am I clear? Have I let go of anything really, or am I just talking about letting go? Am I just talking about? That's a nice idea. Be mindful, but am I just saying the right things to my mind, or am I doing it? Am I getting the feel for what this mindfulness is, what this samadhi is? So it's just really exploring that. And so that sense of I say the ardent, and again these aspects of mindfulness that we cultivate. Tapi sampajano. Sampajano, Ajahn Jeff translates as alert. It's traditionally translated as clear comprehension, which is, I think it's a good translation. And it's I think it was Bhante Sujato. I thought it was a good translation. Bhante Sujato translated as situational awareness, which is, in that sense that it's awareness that is attuned to its surroundings, and also what precedes and what's its result. So there's that attentiveness to the process, and that's what some clear comprehension or alertness is its function is to see, because we do have to pay attention to the causes and conditions that we are putting into this practice, and the cause and the how it's affecting us. What results are we getting from the practice, from the effort that we're making? And when we direct attention, when we settle our attention on the mind, what is the result? Is it leading to clarity? Is it leading to a sense of alertness? Because that's there's there's just so often it's easy to drift in meditation. In breath, out breath, in breath, out breath, in breath, out breath. And mindfulness is gone. So that there's needs to be that situational awareness. So what's in this situation, in this moment right now? What is helpful? What's supportive of clarity and awareness, alertness? So that these constituents of mindfulness are important to be attending to. So atapi sampajano, satima is like just mindful or possessed of mindfulness, and that so this mindfulness or awareness is part of the word sati for mindfulness is part of it is its root is the same as sanya, the memory, perception. So there's an element of recollection happening, and so that what mindfulness is able to do is to recollect, to bring to mind, and then to bring to mind, to hold in mind, is so this aspect of how we direct our attention, direct this mindfulness in a way that we're remembering, what am I supposed to be? What am I doing here anyway? And not forgetting, and so that just bringing attention to that process, and then and that's not a bad mantra or phrase to bring up from time to time. What am I doing here? Am I still here? Because it's sometimes you're not. It's so just to that, so that ardent, alert, mindful, and then so that atapi sampajano satima. Vinaya loke atikma pijanto manasa. It says putting aside greed and distress towards the world, or setting aside our likes and our dislikes, and setting aside our that sense of that attraction, aversion, kind of cycle that goes on in the mind. Just being able to recognize that in order for the mind to really settle, to compose, to unify, there can't be this constant commentary going on of the I want this, I don't want that. This is like this. Um, this is really likable. This is really despicable, and judging our mental states, judging our actions. That in the end, it just says this is arising and ceasing. This is coming into being and passing away, and returning to the knowing, returning to the clarity and continuity of that knowing awareness, because that's where the mind really settles. It's where it really composes itself. So to reflect on these constituents of mindfulness, and then recognizing that in the same way that Ajahn Chah says of this bowl of fruit, it's composed of a variety of things, but it's a bowl of fruit. And so the same with the mind is composed with different feelings, different impulses, but it's a well composed and settled mind. It is a unified mind. It's not at odds with itself, and the images that the Buddha gives of the mind settling, are not of a completely passive nature, or a it's like the image of the Buddha gives of the bathman or the bathman's apprentice who taking soap powder and putting water in and kneading it so that it becomes a ball of soap that is it's not runny, it's not dry, it's not still a powder puffing out all over the place, but it's not just not slopping it around with water. It is being brought into a consistent and cohesive mass, and in the same ways that we want the mind to be consistent and cohesive in terms of its mental states that are bright, that are composed, that are revolving around the Dhamma, recollecting the reality of this impermanence, unsatisfactoriness, not self aspects of truth, so that that sense of recollecting the image, how that the body and mind are really at ease, and so that relaxing into this process of putting forth effort, applying mindfulness, and that's where when Ajahn Sumedho asking Luang Por Cha about the what is samadhi, and Ajahn Chah answering, well, samadhi is a holiday for the heart, and it's a really give yourself a break and pay attention to the breath, pay attention to the body, pay attention to those four foundations of mindfulness. Revolve the mind around that, so that there's a continuity of alertness and attention, mindfulness, that the mind settles and integrates. the body relaxes, and it's a and there's many different themes that one can be picking up. That's why they say just like the themes are the basis, are the four foundations of mindfulness. I mean, that's body, feeling, mind objects, and then within those, there's all sorts of subsets that one can be using. So that's it's not just one thing. Just learning how to be skilled at directing attention, sustaining attention, so that the mind settles. So that as we come towards the this range retreat, the mental develop bhavana, the cultivation of samadhi is it's foundational to our training, our lifestyle, and just become adept and enjoy it. And don't make it a chore or a burden. So I'll offer that for reflection this evening.